Hi, it's Rebecca again. You know, I traveled the world as a flight attendant, and I just wanted to share with you something that happened to me back in the late 90s when I was flying near Caracas, Venezuela. I was based at JFK International Airport, and my route was down to Caracas. And honestly, the experience I had there was the worst experience I've ever had in my whole 35-year career of flying, in that it was right up there on the Richter scale of being frightening. And it happened on the ground. We would fly down to Caracas and land later at night. And we all piled into this van to go to the hotel. The layover hotel was in Caracas. We had just switched over from staying at the airport hotel to the downtown hotel on this particular trip. And we all piled into this van. There were 10 of us. 3 pilots were sitting in the back seat, and there were 7 flight attendants. And it's about 10 o'clock at night, pitch black. And we're going up this mountain to get to Caracas. It's kind of elevated from where the airport is. And all of a sudden, the van stopped for someone who flagged us over, and a man stuck his head in who looked kind of like a policeman, the way he was dressed. And he just took a look at all of us. And we said we were crew, airline crew, going to our hotel. Closed the door. We went ahead. And all of a sudden, there was a gunshot, and our front left tire was blown out. The pilots sitting behind me saw the gunshot. They actually saw the gun, and one of them said that was a .44 Magnum. And I said, really? How do you know? And they said, well, we just know what guns look like. And that was a .44 Magnum, which I guess is a very powerful gun. Blew out the front left tire on this van, loaded with 10 of us. And it's pitch black, and we're trying to get to the hotel. And the driver wants to pull over and pull all the suitcases out of the back of the van so we can get to the spare tire. Well, the flight attendant that was sitting up there in the front seat beside the driver spoke Spanish and was able to communicate with him to keep going, don't stop. We kept screaming at this guy, don't let him stop. We want to keep going. We don't want to pull over. We were afraid that we would be hijacked up ahead and either robbed or something worse. We didn't know what the heck was up to after a gun went off and blew out our tire. So we just kept going. And I'll tell you, of all the experiences I ever had when I was flying, and I had a lot of them in 35 years, you have a lot of different experiences, but I never had one like this that was like, wow, are we really going to make it? Or are we going to be in the news tomorrow? So we made it to the hotel. And we pulled into this beautiful hotel, and we were met by the concierge and the people at the desk, and we told them what had happened. And right away they said, oh, they know they're not supposed to do that to crew members or diplomats. I mean, supposedly we have some kind of immunity in countries like this. And I found out when a country's going down like Venezuela did, it's very, very dangerous to go there, because anarchy and lawlessness and people feeling desperate are apt to do desperate things. I heard stories about how some people actually landed at the airport and got into a taxi to go to their hotel and were taken up to the top of the mountain, stripped naked and robbed and left there. Things like this. Some people were actually killed that had flown into Venezuela and gotten in a cab. Very, very dangerous. I even knew some people after that I worked with who were from Venezuela, and they couldn't even go visit their relatives. It was getting so dangerous. You do not want a country to go socialist. It's not pretty. And, that was a beautiful country at one time, rich, one of the richest countries with all that oil and wealth. And, South America is a gorgeous place, but I could see once you start getting corrupt and greedy, and you let people like that run the show, you're screwed. I mean, you don't want that to happen. So I just wanted to tell you that story as something to think about. I'm telling you, I've never been as frightened on a trip as I was on that trip to Caracas. The following week, I was supposed to go back. I told the crew schedule, I'm never going back to Caracas as long as I live. That was the worst experience. He said, I don't blame you. I wouldn't go either. And, you know, I don't even know if we fly there anymore. I think we do, but those poor people living in a country like that is hell on earth.